what recent albums have you been getting into? What's usually on Ahir Shah's playlist?
So I'm quite terrible in terms of listening to new music. I feel as though basically I stagnated in the mid 2010s and got like, it's like in the same way that I generally will wear a black pair of trousers every day because I'm like, that works. Never have to think about trousers again. And so I feel as though with music, I also ended up going, I like the way this one sounds, and that will do me till I die.
You said you clocked off mid 2010s. We're talking about 2016 here. I'm feeling good.
Oh yeah, actually. So this sort of the year that you discuss on this show is very much the sort of my waning days. So this is very look. 2016 it was Brexit, Trump, and I stopped having new experiences. Those were the things that happened.
So the album that I've sent you this week is Good Will Come to You by Unblonde. I think it's a very special album. There's a lot to say about it. Had you heard of this artist before I sent you the album?
I had not, and I now know that this is a person who's gone by multiple names over the course of a career, and I had not heard of any of these incarnations. So Jean-Sebastian Audet is his name, his actual name. Nowadays, he releases music under Yves Jarvis, which is his middle name and his mother's maiden name, and that's the stuff he releases now is all under that name. And he's gone under that name for quite a while. But there were a couple of albums where he was Unblonde, which he was only called Unblonde because he wanted a name that was 2 words. He wanted the first word to be 2 letters and the second word to be 6 letters. That's all. That was all his. He just wanted that, and then he settled on Unblonde, and it doesn't mean anything. Like, people think it means a whole bunch of stuff, and he's like, nope. I just wanted to. What, he could have just been called like To Berlin, and that would have worked.
I bet that was on the short list. I bet that was there somewhere. He could have been called anything that was 2 words and 2 letters, 6 letters. That's all he wanted.
London. That's
London. Perfect one. Love that. I'm literally trying to think of my own here and can't think of a 2-letter word. I keep on coming absolutely. I mean, awful improv from Acaster on this.
Yeah, because basically you're like, you know how many letters there are in James, and you know how many letters there are in Acaster, and neither of those are 6.
This is really annoying.
Screwed.
Yeah, I mean, I've got to think of one, otherwise we can't move on. On, which is just un. I mean, so I've basically just like taken his first one and just changed one letter. Can't do that. That's a better 2-letter word.
Great.
How many? It itches. Is that? Or was that 7? It feels like, no, that's 6. I've done it. It itches. There you go.
I think that your musical project, It Itches, may not have had the same kind of cachet as Unblonde, maybe.
It might not have been taken seriously.
Yeah. What are you doing this weekend? It Itches? Oh, God. And next up we've got It Itches with his new EP, There's a Cream for That.
Featuring MC Dermatitis. Guest slot. So, you were right. Loads of different names he's gone under. And let's just get straight into, did you like it?
I did, yes. It's a thing that I was like, this is really nice. My friend James has done me a favour because he's introduced me to this thing. I'll tell you what I was annoyed about, that I listened to it after I was done cooking, and there was something in the vibe of it where I was like, this would be a really great I'm chopping vegetables album. And I don't know what I think. Maybe just because it was like very ambient, and like, or a lot of it had this very nice ambient feel, and it felt very like quite warm. And that was like, I'd love to have something bubbling on the go while listening to this, but instead I was just sitting about.
Yeah, I think chopping vegetables is can be quite meditative. You know, you can like really get into like some sort of trance when you're chopping up vegetables, and that music as well is very relaxing. And I think the combination of the two, it wouldn't be a bad thing. It wouldn't make me think, I'm going to turn this off while I'm chopping the vegetables. I think it'd make me focus even more on the task at hand.
I often don't know, I don't really know, like, I know a few musicians, but not many. But Is it bad to say that I want to chop vegetables during this music? Like, is that insulting to the artist? I don't know. I don't think so. But equally, if someone was like, Ahir Shah, you are my favorite comedian to chop vegetables to, I'd be like, oh, god damn it.
Yeah, you wouldn't love it. But then, like, I think with this album, you know, he's got all the background noise in all the different songs where he's leant out of his bedroom window, he's held the mic out, and he's just recorded traffic, he's recorded the sounds of Montreal and the sounds of the city. And he did that because he wanted it to reflect how the city is always moving, it's loud, there's always something going on in the background, it's not just you in a bubble on your own. And so I think people doing other stuff while listening to this album would kind of suit it. I think he'd be fine with that. It represents his life's moving around the album. Things are always going on around it. It doesn't have to be sit down and just focus on it on its own. But then, who knows?